10 Morning Truths That Silence the Noise Instantly. Guided by the Quiet Guide. The world wakes up demanding your attention. The emails, the news, the mental clutter. It is all designed to steal your peace before your feet even hit the floor. But you do not have to accept that invitation. You can silence that noise instantly by anchoring yourself in these 10 quiet truths. You are not here by accident, and it is interesting how often people miss that. Something brought you to this moment. Maybe the noise of your week, maybe the weight of expectations, maybe the quiet exhaustion that sits behind your eyes when you wake up. There is always a reason. And before we even touch the 10 truths, let me tell you something most listeners never realize. Your morning does not just set the tone for the day, it sets the tone for your thinking, your emotional posture, and the way you handle yourself. You deserve a gentler beginning than the world usually gives you. Take a slow breath, not because it is a technique, but because it is a way of arriving. Notice how your mind tries to rush ahead. It wants to solve the whole day before you even feel awake. It wants to protect you by controlling everything. It wants to predict outcomes that have not even formed yet. This is what minds do when they are tired or overwhelmed. But there is a quieter way to enter your day, a way that does not begin with pressure, but with presence. Imagine a scene for a moment. The room around you is still. The air feels soft. Morning light enters in a calm, steady way, not dramatic, just enough to remind you that you have a new beginning in front of you. There is something cinematic about this kind of quiet, almost as if the world pauses long enough for you to reset. And maybe, without realizing it, this is the first time you have checked in with yourself in a while, not checking in with your tasks or responsibilities, but with your inner world. Here is a warm thought to bring closer. You have survived every morning of your life. All of them. Even the ones where your heart felt tired or your mind felt cluttered. Even the ones that carried bad news or difficult moments. You have walked through mornings that felt impossible at the time, and yet here you are. There is a resilience inside you that deserves to be noticed, not rushed past. There is also a spiritual rhythm to mornings. Scripture describes new mercies each day, but mercies are more than forgiveness. They are replenishment, strength for today rather than leftovers from yesterday. And whether you think of that as God or grace or simply the quiet resetting of your spirit, the effect is the same. You are allowed to begin again. Faith does not need fireworks. It just needs room. Underneath all of this, there is psychological truth as well. The brain is most open to influence in the first moments of waking. This is when your emotional tone is formed. This is when your sense of identity begins to solidify. And this is why the first things you tell yourself matter. They shape the pathways your mind will follow later. So this is your reset. A gentle entry into the day. A moment to reconnect with who you are beneath the noise. In a moment, we will walk through 10 quiet and powerful truths. Truths that soften pressure, strengthen identity, and anchor your morning. But before that, let me name something quietly. There is a part of you that is tired of the noise and ready for a new way of being. And that part of you is why this matters. Take another slow breath. Let the shoulders loosen. And let us step into the truths together. Quiet truth number 1. I can move slowly and still be going somewhere important. This first truth is simple, yet surprisingly freeing. The world loves speed, and there is a quiet pressure to match that speed even when your spirit is asking for something gentler. Slow is not stuck. Steady is not failing. Even spiritually, progress is often described as a walk, not a sprint. And here's the part many people misunderstand. Urgency and growth are not the same thing. When this truth meets your morning, you begin to trust your pace instead of fighting it. The second quiet truth is, I do not need to match anyone else's pace to live a meaningful life. This truth arrives warmly because comparison usually sneaks in quietly. You see what others are doing, how far they seem to be, how effortlessly they appear to move. But your pace is shaped by your path, your responsibilities, your story. And honestly, here is where most people get stuck. They think they are behind when they are simply on a different timeline. You cannot be late to a life that was designed for you. When this truth settles inside you, your chest softens and you return to your own rhythm. Quiet Truth 3. My feelings are real, but they are not always right. This one enters gently because feelings can be overwhelming in the morning. You might wake up with heaviness or restlessness that does not match the reality of your day. Feelings deserve compassion, not dismissal, but they also do not dictate truth. They are weather patterns, not identity. When this truth sits in your morning, you gain enough space to choose your response instead of being swept away by emotion. Quiet Truth 4. God is already working on things I cannot see yet. Or if you connect more with the idea of timing, alignment, or the universe, something is moving quietly on your behalf. This truth expands your awareness beyond the moment you woke up inside. Stillness is not evidence that nothing is happening. Silence is not proof of abandonment. The unseen is often where the most meaningful shifts occur. Whether you call that God, alignment, or simply life-moving pieces you cannot observe yet, the effect is the same. Something larger is participating in your journey. And this tends to surprise people, because we assume what we cannot see is not happening. But when this truth rests in your morning, preparation begins to feel present, not distant. Quiet Truth 5. I choose peace even when I do not have every answer. This truth is clean and steady because the mind craves certainty to feel safe. Many people wait for answers before they allow themselves to rest, but peace does not require explanation. Peace is a decision you make from a grounded place, and this is often the point where something softens inside you, as if your breath becomes less shallow. When this truth enters your morning, control loses its grip, and calm becomes possible again. Quiet Truth 6. I am allowed to be a learner and not a flawless performer. Here the tone becomes warm and human because perfectionism often hides behind good intentions. You want to do well, and because of that, you fear mistakes. But learners grow faster than performers. Learners have humility that creates space for transformation. Performers collapse under the weight of expectation. When this truth becomes part of your morning, curiosity replaces fear and the day feels lighter. Quiet Truth 7. Today's challenges will grow tomorrow's strength in me. This truth enters with a guiding cinematic feel because it reframes hardship. Strength is not built on comfortable days. It is built on days where you keep going even though part of you wants to retreat. And here is the micro spike. Most people underestimate how much resilience is being shaped inside the struggle. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. When this truth settles in you, challenges begin to feel meaningful rather than threatening. Quiet Truth 8. Not every thought that enters my mind deserves my attention. This truth arrives softly because thoughts can be noisy and early mornings are when they tend to multiply. But you do not owe every thought your focus. Noticing is not the same as engaging. Awareness is not agreement. When this truth becomes part of your morning rhythm, you reclaim authorship of your internal world and begin to recognize the difference between what is true and what is loud. Quiet Truth 9. What I repeat today will shape who I become tomorrow. This point is steady and direct because identity is built through repetition. The way you speak to yourself, the way you react or pause, the way you choose kindness or silence, all of these moments shape the person you are becoming. Scripture calls it renewing the mind. Psychology calls it rewiring. You call it growth. And most people never realize that transformation is happening quietly through daily patterns. When this truth enters your morning, the day feels purposeful before anything even happens. Quiet Truth 10. I am held, I am guided, and I am not walking into this day alone. This final truth arrives warmly because it speaks to the part of you that carries more than you admit. The weight you feel does not mean you are unsupported. Grace surrounds you whether you see it or not. Guidance moves with you whether you feel it or not. Presence is walking ahead of you into conversations, decisions, and unexpected moments. And honestly, this is the truth that softens fear. When this rests in your morning, you step into the day with steadiness rather than strain. Before we slow down completely, let me bring your attention to something simple but meaningful. You did not rush through this. You stayed. You listened. You allowed your mind and your spirit to settle. That willingness is a sign of internal strength. It means you are becoming someone who chooses awareness instead of autopilot. Now let the truths soften inside you, like light shifting through a quiet room. Let your breath deepen without effort. Let your shoulders loosen naturally. Let the day ahead feel a little less sharp and a little more spacious. Imagine yourself walking forward with one of these truths beside you. Not all 10, just one. The one that landed in your chest more than the others. That truth is your companion today, steady enough to guide you, gentle enough to hold you. You're becoming more grounded, more centered, more present. And none of this required force. It only required willingness. Stay with me for one last breath. Slow in, slow out. This is your reset, your quiet beginning, your moment of clarity before the world gathers its noise again. If this helped you slow things down, even slightly, that is enough. You do not need to change everything today. You do not need to decide what comes next. If someone you care about could benefit from this moment, feel free to share it with them. Not to fix them, just to offer perspective. And if this resonated with you, you can leave a quiet thumbs up or a comment. It helps this space grow and reach people who are building quietly, consistently, and seriously. If you would like more moments like this, focused, grounded, and steady, you are welcome to subscribe and return whenever it feels right. This is Quiet Grind Daily, where self-improvers reset, calm mind, consistent action, guided by the quiet guide. Come back when the world feels loud, or stay for more in the next quiet moment we share.